you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can achieve this Ursula makeup look. For those of you who don't know, Little Mermaid has literally always been my favorite Disney movie. Princess movie. My favorite actual Disney movie is Treasure Planet, and did you ask? No, but there you go. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of, play around with some Disney villains by paying tribute to the Sea Witch herself this Halloween. I had a very strong feeling that I wanted to do a few Disney villains this Halloween just because, one, it's good to be bad, and two, because Halloween just seems like the perfect time to do Disney villains because they're just thriving. They're at their most powerful. I mean, okay, real fast. Have you guys seen House of Mouse? Because first of all, that was like one of the best TV shows on ever. And then also they had their like little Halloween special where it was House of Villains and all of the Disney villains took it over. So good. If you guys need any Halloween movies, just watch that. Like, it's basically all of like the original Mickey Mouse classics, like, before they started doing all of like these new TV shows. Like, these are like the original cartoons, like the good stuff, and it's so good. So just me just trying to plug it, like, please do. It's like literally one of the best shows, and I feel like nobody knows about it, which is just absurd. So anyways, this is just a really fun tutorial where I show you guys the makeup, and I also show you guys how to make her jewelry. This is really easy to do because it's model magic. Like, it is just so fun. It's so lightweight. It's so easy to mold into what you want. The only thing that proved to be a little bit difficult was the earrings, only because I don't know how to twist this shape to save my life. But yeah, if you are a capable human being, unlike myself, then this should be quite easy for you. Also, before I forget, I will leave this wig linked down below. I got it from Party City, and it's actually a Marilyn Monroe wig, and I just had to bobby pin the sides up because, not gonna lie, this was practically already teased because they're trying to get her like flip or whatever. So I just pushed it up and it just stayed there, and then you can hairspray it if you want. Another great thing about this look is if you're actually looking to be Jessica Rabbit for Halloween, you can take the techniques from making the eyes and apply that to her as well. It's basically the exact same eye shape. The only thing is like just make thinner eyebrows, and you already have your lifted eye socket shadow stuff. So anyways, with all that being said, if you guys are interested in seeing how you can achieve this Ursula jewelry and makeup tutorial, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so to start off, we're going to be making Ursula's jewelry. I will leave a timestamp here if you want to go ahead and skip to either the earrings or the makeup tutorial, but we're going to start off with her necklace. So you're going to be needing some Model Magic, a variety of gold acrylic paint, some black leather cord, some barrel clasps, toothpicks or any other sculpting tools, and some clear nail polish. You're going to start off by rolling your Model Magic into a ball in your hands before starting to elongate it into a large log-like shape. Next, we're going to be making it into a cone shape. So in order to do that, I'm going to be keeping the side of the Model Magic closest to me. I'm going to be pressing my hands together and flaring out the back side of my hands. So that is going to make the bottom part of the Model Magic wider, and the part of the Model Magic that is closest to me is going to be tapered to a point. We're then going to be taking the larger side of the Model Magic cone and pressing that into the table to help flatten that out before we begin on rolling it into the shape. You're going to take the smaller tapered area and slowly roll that towards the larger area so that you kind of make a snail shell, and then you're going to be taking your index finger and pressing that into the once flat surface so that we can kind of create the illusion that this is going to be a hollow shell. We're then going to be taking a toothpick and slowly pushing that in towards the top of the shell. You want to twist as you do it just to make sure not to damage your shell. This is going to be where we're going to insert our leather cord later on. You're then going to go ahead and make the 3 indentions into the snail shell. You can use what other sculpting tool you would like. I am just currently using a toothpick. I'm then going to be taking the toothpick again and reinserting that into the hole to let that dry overnight. We're then going to be moving on to the paint job. I'm going to be taking my lightest acrylic color and just applying this all over the shell and making sure it dries before moving on to adding the next layers of color. And since we want to make this look as realistic as possible, that means we need to add dimensions. So that means adding highlights and shadows to really make this look more real. So I'm going to be adding shadows to the inside of the shell where it would be hollow and darker. And you're also going to be applying it to the bottom of the shell where there's going to be no light that is directly hitting it. And you're also going to want to apply some into the details from earlier. So that's going to be the 3 cracks and also the areas that the shell is turning in on itself, because that is going to have shadows too. And then you're also going to want to apply a few lighter colors where the light is going to be hitting the highest points of this shell as well. Once you're happy with the way that looks, you're going to be pouring a little bit of your clear nail polish on and then just spreading that out all over your shell. This is going to create that nice glossy top coat for your jewelry and help make it look more realistic and kind of help seal it as well. Once that is completely dried, you're going to go ahead and thread your leather cord through, and I cut this to where it would lay right at my collarbone. I kind of just guesstimated and somehow I got lucky and it was the right length. It ended up being about 12 to 14 inches, I believe. And so I'm just going to be applying my barrel clasps directly onto this, and I'm going to be using my little jewelry pliers to help close it up. And since I didn't have the other little jewelry piece that would keep the cord attached to the same cord, I just went ahead and super glued it to make sure it would stay. But yeah, it seemed tight enough anyway, so just do whatever you want. You could always just tie it in a knot. It was whatever works best for you. And that is your finished Ursula necklace. Next, we're going to be making her earrings, so you're going to once again need some Model Magic, your purple acrylic paints, some jewelry pliers, some silver plate ear wire, multi-size jump rings, and some clear nail polish once again. So, funny story, I actually could not get the shape on camera for the life of me, and then the moment I sit back and I'm not in front of the camera, I was able to get the shape. So I'm going to try and get the second one to look as similar to the first as possible. Basically, you want to form a long snake-like shape, and then take one end, holding the other end steady. You're going to twist one end until it gets to a tapered point and then pull so that it is nice and pointy, and then you're going to go ahead and start to pull the opposite end to make it even pointier as well. This is something that if you'd like, you can cut and then form the rest with your fingers, but I just found it easy to kind of pull it until it would elongate into a natural pointed end. Next, you're going to be taking your toothpick and forming a hole at the area of the seashell that is not twisted. Because if you look at reference photos of Ursula, she has the twisted part of the earring at the very bottom, and the area that is attached to the ear is the area that is not twisted. So we're just going to be trying to make it look as similar to the real deal as possible. Once you've let that dry overnight, you can now begin your paint job. I'm just going to be going into some metallic purple paints and just applying it all over the seashell. And once again, just like the others, you want to wait till it's dry before you start to add the gradient. You want to make sure to add some highlights and shadows to this as well. I decided to make it darker as it got closer towards the twisty part and make it lighter towards the normal pointed end that is closest to your ear, so that way it has a nice, beautiful gradient that the light catches, and it just helps make it look a little bit more realistic as well. Once that has had time to dry, you can then take your top coat nail polish and apply it on top of the seashells to help give it that nice, beautiful, natural shine and help seal the Model Magic and paint. Then, once that is completely dried, you're going to be taking your two jewelry pliers, opening up one of your jump rings, and inserting it into the hole. Once that has been inserted, you can then take one of your earrings and apply that into the hole as well before closing the hole back up, and then you have one completed earring before doing the exact same thing to the other earring as well. Now onto the makeup. We're going to start off by covering up our eyebrows using the Elmer's glue technique before going in with our ColourPop No Filter Concealer in white to help completely seal off those eyebrows and make sure it has full coverage so that we can cover it up with the body paint without being worried that we are going to be seeing our nice dark brows through the paint. Speaking of paint, we're going to be taking our Graftobian Pro Paint in Wild Violet and our Mare on Paradise paint in white, mixing these together to get a nice light lavender color and just applying this all over our face and body. This is honestly probably the most time-consuming part of this entire project, so turn on some good music, take your time, and enjoy the ride. Once you have a nice base all over your body, you're going to be taking your Graftobian Pro Paint in Wild Violet and just using this to create a simple contour around your face. You can deepen this up later on, but we just want to have a nice base to be able to work off of for the rest of our facial structure. We're going to set our entire face and body with our Johnson's Baby Powder. This is the best thing to set your body paint with because this is going to help make sure that it doesn't move and it's translucent, so it is not going to interfere with the color of your body paint. Taking our Marilyn Paradise paint in black and using a reference photo of Ursula's eyebrows, you're then going to recreate your own eyebrows. So I'm just going to be drawing this above my natural brow, and I'm trying to make it thin and arched. So I'm going to be trying to work in thin lines because it is easier to make it bigger than to try and erase it and make it look smaller again. So just be patient with this. Eyebrows are finicky enough as it is, and so drawing it on can be a little difficult as well. We're then going to be going back into our ColourPop No Filter Concealer in white, and also taking a Graftobian Pro Paint in Wild Violet, mixing them together to kind of create our own under eye highlight for Ursula, because she is purple, but she isn't too purple. We definitely want to have the lighter areas of the face, so I'm going to apply this where I would probably normally apply under eye highlight, and then blending that out with a beauty blender, and you want to try and be careful as to make sure not to lift up any extra product. Then once again, you just want to make sure to quickly set this with your baby powder. We're also going to be making sure to do this to the other side of our face and even bringing it down to our chin and our forehead. Going back into our Marilyn Paradise paint in black, we're going to be creating the shape of our eyeshadow. So I'm going to be creating a line going down from my eyebrow that is going to touch the inner corner of my eye, and creating a large semicircle from part of my eyebrow, and that is going to touch the outer corner of my eye before doing the exact same thing to the other eye. I'm then going to be taking my Graftobian Pro Paint in Graveyard Gray, and I'm going to be filling in the top part up by my brow bone to kind of create a nice brow bone highlight, but also still retaining that dark, shadowy look. We're then going to be taking our Marilyn Paradise paint in light blue and filling in the actual eyeshadow area. So I'm just going to try and make this as opaque as possible before doing the other eye as well. We're then going to be taking this light blue eyeshadow from our Morphe 35B palette and applying this all over the light blue body paint just to kind of add a little bit more of a pop of color. We're then going to be going into the metallic light blue and taking a little bit of our MAC Fix Plus. We're going to spray our brush before going in and applying this all over the lid as well, just to add a little bit more of a nice glam metallic look. We're then going to be taking our dark blue eyeshadow and applying this to the outer edges of the eyeshadow area to kind of create a nice little halo eye illusion. We're also going to be doing the same thing by adding a little bit of our black eyeshadow to the same area to not only help with the halo eye illusion, but to help add more dimension to the eyeshadow in general. We're then going to be taking our NYX Epic Ink Liner and applying this to our upper lash line just to kind of help make that look a little bit more bold before going back into our light blue eyeshadow and just applying this towards the inner corner of the eye to kind of help expand the eyeshadow area, to kind of help also make it look a little larger and more cartoon-like. I feel like it looked a little too cut off and not blended in enough, and I feel like this just kind of helped really complete the eye area. We're also going to be taking our light blue eyeshadow and our dark blue eyeshadow and just applying this to our lower lash line as well to help blend it in with the upper eyelid look. I also wanted it to look a little bit more bold and smoky, so I'm just going to be taking the black eyeshadow and applying that to the lower lash line as well. Taking our Maybelline Lasting Drama eyeliner in Sleek Black, we're going to be tightlining our lower waterline before going back into our Morphe 35B palette, taking the light purple and the dark indigo purple, and we're going to be using this to contour our cheekbones, our forehead, our jawline, your shoulders, wherever you feel like you need to add a little bit more structure and definition. We're also going to be pointing our nose and creating a arrow-like shape in the nostril area, because if you look at reference photos, she actually seems to have this going on, and she has these weird kind of folds under her nose, which are different from our natural folds. They kind of look a little bit more like those birds that you see in little drawings and stuff, so we're just going to create that and completely ignore our normal folds because, you know, it's fine. We don't need logic. Moving on to lips, I'm going to be taking my MAC lip pencil in Plum and outlining my lips. Before moving on to filling them in, I'm going to be taking my ColourPop liquid lipstick in Tulips and laying that down as a base before going over top of it with my ColourPop liquid lipstick in Lost, because she does seem to kind of have a red magenta-like lip, so I also wanted to add a little bit of shimmer by taking my Mary Kay lipstick in Black Cherry and just putting this right on top of that. I'm then going to be taking my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara and sweeping that through both my upper and lower eyelashes. And for my false eyelashes, I'm going to be going in with my Sugar Pill eyelashes in Plush and Spark. I'm going to be stacking those and just applying that to my upper lash line just so we can get a nice dramatic lash, because I started off with Spark and it looked way too simple for my liking, so I went ahead and put Plush right on top of that, and it definitely really helped bring out that dramatic look that I was going for. We're going to be going back into our NYX Epic Ink Liner and applying that to our lower lash line and creating 2 little long eyelashes on the outer corner of our eye. And then we're going to be going into our Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit, taking Blue Ice and just popping that into the inner corner of the eye to help brighten that up a bit. And last but not least, we're going to be going back into our Marilyn Paradise paint in black and create her nice beauty mark on the outer corner of her mouth. And that is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my Halloween videos. I do understand that Halloween is tomorrow, which is so exciting, but I have so many Halloween tutorials I still want to upload for you guys, so you might be getting 2 a day until Friday. And so thank you guys so much for being patient and sticking with me. I'm so excited to give you these looks. I've been working so hard on them. Anyways, with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!